On this edition of Lakeville City Limits, we highlight some upcoming events at the Heritage Center and find out why it's important to get your hearing checked. Next, I talk with co-chair Randy Sparling about this year's Taste of Lakeville and find out who benefits from this annual event. And finally, we make a stop at Lakeville Liquors to find out about Canadian whiskeys in another edition of Cellar Notes. Hello, I'm City Administrator Steve Melke. Welcome to City Limits, Lakeville's public information program. The Heritage Center is a place where residents can participate in a wide array of activities, take a look back at history of the city, or attend an event to support our military members. Here is Recreation Program Coordinator Patty Rudy with another edition of the Heritage Center Update.
Hi, I'm Patty Rudy and I'm Recreation Program Coordinator here at the Heritage Center. I'm here today with Mark Rother, and he is from a company called the Hearing Aid Doctor here in Lakeville. Welcome.
Right, thank you, Patty.
Thank you for coming. You have a program, a monthly program here for us, and could you tell the viewers a bit about the program and about your background?
Sure. I've been going around to retirement homes and senior centers for the last 10, 12 years, and I've started coming here once a month about a year ago. And someone at the senior center had called and asked me to come out. And when I'm here, I do free hearing screenings for whoever would like to come in, or cleaning of hearing aids if they have hearing aids now. If a person has a hearing loss, the statistics say that it takes about 8 years for a person to, from the time they need a hearing aid until they finally make the decision to do something about it. So it's important to get your hearing screened just so you know where you're at. If you have a hearing loss, if the screening shows that there's, and then you're telling me things like, yeah, when I'm in a group, I really have trouble understanding the speech, and it's a lot of work to carry on a conversation. Then I would ask if you would like to come to the office, and we would do a thorough hearing testing and hearing exam. And then if hearing aids are indicated, we would suggest a model or a style for someone. And we're very easy to work with. We work with every hearing aid company out there, so we've got everything to choose from as far as styles and brands and things like that. And usually people do quite well. You know, if they get fit with a hearing aid, they'll come back for a follow-up fitting, and we'll see how things are going and make adjustments if necessary, that type of thing. So. Okay,
great. Okay, so this service that you're providing for us, the hearing aid cleaning and the hearing screening, is that free?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep. It's a volunteer service. I've been doing this, like I say, for about 10 or 12 years.
If you had found an issue with someone's hearing, what would be the next step?
Then I would ask them to come out to the office, and then we would do a little more diagnostic testing and find out exactly where they're at. I do recommend that they go and see their physician, have their ears checked for any medical problems, that type of thing. So if they're having trouble and they decide they would like to do something, then we would talk about different models and styles for their lifestyle. One of the most popular models now is the small behind-the-ear aid with a little wire that goes down in. A lot of people are aware of those now. There's been a lot of advertising and that type of thing on those. And the advantage with those is that they leave the ear open, so you're not plugging the ear with a piece of plastic. So, and that is working for a lot of hearing losses today. It was limited a few years ago, but they've gotten better and better. The technology just keeps getting better and better. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so is this covered by insurance usually, or I'm sure every case is different?
You're right. Every case is different, every ear is different, and every situation is different. Insurance, for younger folks that are still working, oftentimes they'll have some type of insurance coverage for them. For people that are retired on Social Security with supplemental insurance, then usually there's no insurance coverage for them.
Okay.
So, unfortunately. Well, I'm here every second Monday of the month at 11 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. And how do people make appointments, or if you can tell?
Oh, sure. If they'd like to come out to the office for a free evaluation, just give us a call. Our phone number is 952-255-8579, and we're located next to Perkins over on 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Or they can make an appointment here
Sure.
on the dates that you're here.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thank you for coming, and we really appreciate you providing this service for us.
Thanks, Patty.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Lakeville area active adults are age 50 and over and enjoy many programs here at the Heritage Center. We are always looking for new members to join. We have a lot of fun here. Members enjoy many benefits and can sign up for activities including trips, classes, seminars, chorus, dancing, social groups, legal consultation, technology classes, yoga, and exercise classes, oil painting, sewing, bingo cards, special events, and much, much more. Currently, it's time to renew your Lakeville Area Active Adults membership or become a new member. Stop by to sign up and receive your 2014 membership card. Our waffle breakfast is scheduled for Sunday, April 27th, 8 a.m. to noon. Please come and enjoy breakfast and help the Heritage Center with fundraising. Please be sure to bring your family and friends. Also, if you purchase your spring flowers through Paul's Market, please make sure you mention the Heritage Center. You can pick up certificates here or at Paul's. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Heritage Center. Thank you for your support of our fundraising. There's a new program in Lakeville. It's the Darts Bus Service. In partnership with the City of Lakeville, Darts Dial-A-Ride service is now available for residents of Lakeville. This individualized service is for residents age 60 and older and offers assisted door-to-door transportation to any destination within Lakeville, Farmington, Burnsville, Eagan, Apple Valley, and Rosemount. Transportation vans are wheelchair lift equipped, and it operates Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Ride fares are $3.50 to $7.50 each way. Advanced scheduling is required, 2 to 7 business days. To schedule a ride or for more information, please call 651-234-2281. Don't miss the Taylor Murray's Fashion Show and Shopping event, Tuesday, May 20th. Your $5 suggested donation includes pie, beverages, prizes, and giveaways. Come see the spring fashions and add something new to your wardrobe. Taylor Murray's is a mobile retail clothing store that brings fashionable women's clothing and accessories from respected, high-quality brands right to you at affordable prices. Enjoy a complete boutique shopping experience right here. Also, we do need some volunteers in all shapes and sizes to model the clothing. Please consider helping us. There is a healthy cooking demo called Super Smoothies on Wednesday, May 28th. Now that summer is finally here, or soon to be here, we're all looking for fun beverages to enjoy on these warm days. We will show you how to make a variety of smoothies, each featuring a different superfood. From kale to chia seeds, you're sure to find a new favorite in this class. There is going to be a free lasagna dinner for seniors on Thursday, May 29th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. This program is sponsored by the Lakeville Knights of Columbus. Seating is limited. Please sign up if you plan to attend. We are offering 4 different topics in May. Don't miss this important information. Our first seminar is Elder Financial Abuse and Fraud, a Growing Concern, and it's on Tuesday, May 13th. Distressing. That's how to describe the fact that older Americans are losing at least $2.9 billion every year to people who take advantage of their vulnerabilities. Learn more about this topic to protect yourself and your loved ones. Estate sales, age in place or downsize your stuff. This is a free lunch presentation on Tuesday, May 20th. We will discuss moving, downsizing, alleviating stress, resolution of your personal property, and designing an estate sale. The next seminar is 6 Easy Steps to an Effective Estate Plan on Wednesday, May 21st. Learn how to prepare for emergencies and have an adequate plan when it comes to your finances and assets. And our final seminar in May is called Let's Talk About Memory Loss. Why are we so afraid? This seminar will be held on Thursday, May 22nd. Do you find yourself at a loss for words with friends who have memory loss? Do you worry when you forget things? Or do you want to know how to respond to people who might be losing their memory? This presentation will address the fear surrounding Alzheimer's disease and the ways we can improve the lives for those it touches. We have many active groups here at the Heritage Center, including men's golf, Health Angels biking, motorcycling, and pickleball. Each group usually meets once per week. Please contact us for the schedules. Got an iPhone and not sure how to use it? We are offering 2 iPhone classes in May on Friday, May 16th and 23rd, covering different topics. Create one-of-a-kind jewelry at our jewelry making class on Tuesday, May 6th, just in time to give to Mom for Mother's Day. Come join us for scrapbooking. Create scrapbook pages or work on your own projects. Check out the cool gift bags made during the last class. This group meets every other Monday on May 12th. Friendly Folks is a social group who meets twice per month on Saturdays to socialize and have fun. They are always looking for new members. Our new sewing group meets the first and third Thursdays in the afternoons. Projects worked on are decided by the group. The next project is a cute stash basket. We are offering 2 extended trips in July and October. One is a 9-day trip to Glacier National Park in the Canadian Rockies by train, departing July 15th. Enjoy the beautiful scenery aboard an Amtrak train on your way to Montana and the Canadian Rockies, including the Going to the Sun Highway, while making many memorable stops along the way. We are also offering a Rails of New England tour featuring Boston, Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. See the beautiful and historical sites while enjoying local cuisine and fun stops. Join us for programs here for your health and well-being. Choices include using our exercise room Monday through Friday as a perk for our members, or sign up for one of our exercise or dance classes: tap dancing, line dancing, Zumba Gold, yoga classes. We also have weight control support and a walking club, health insurance counseling, hearing screening and hearing aid cleaning, blood pressure checks, Happy Feet foot care, free chair massages, and a seminar, The Truth About Popular Diet Trends. Call 952-985-4620 for more information on any of these programs or to register. Or stop by the Heritage Center at 20110 Holyoke Avenue here in downtown Lakeville. We look forward to seeing you here.
Hey everybody, I'm Officer Don Nuts for the Lakeville Puppet Security, and I'm here today to talk to you about potholes. Hey, if you're driving around the city of Lakeville and you see these nasty potholes in the street, there's numbers that you can call to get those potholes fixed. You can call the City Street Department at 952-985-2711 and report that pothole. Or you can report it online at the city's website at www.lakevillemn.gov. Remember, pothole safety is in your and your car's best interest. Hey, that was pretty good. I think that'd work.
Joining me today is Randy Sparling, co-chair of the Taste of Lakeville. Randy, thanks for joining me on City Limits.
Thank you.
Randy, perhaps there's some folks in town, I can't believe it, there might be some folks that don't know what the Taste of Lakeville is. Can you give us a description of what that is?
We've been doing the Taste of Lakeville for a little over 10 years now. It started as a celebration for the community by the Lakeville Rotary Club as an outdoor food and wine experience. We take the Art Center and we erect a fence, and it's from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock on a Thursday evening. This year it's May 15th. And we have vendors of food in the community that come in, and they have samples of the types of food that they have at their restaurants. As well, through the efforts of the Lakeville liquor stores, they have the suppliers of wine and beer, particularly craft beers, come in with samples so people can have a sample of the wines and such. At this point in time, we're told it's the second largest food and wine activity in the state of Minnesota. And it's grown significantly over the years we've done it. And we have, this year we're targeting about 40 vendors. So each will have about a 10-foot by 10-foot tent where they will serve hot food or beverages. And then we'll have 2 large tents where the distributors of wine and beer are located, where you'll get a 1-ounce pour of wine to sample, and it's a great way for people to be exposed to new wines that they might like to try.
And the vendors come from local restaurants, I assume?
Largely local restaurants. We reach out a little bit of a ways to some a little bit further out than the community, including into Apple Valley. We'll have a new restaurant joining us this year, a new restaurant in Apple Valley called Vivo, which took over the location that the Enjoy restaurant was in for some years.
And the types of food, I suppose, depends on the vendor. So you probably have a very large selection of different kinds of food to taste.
There are appetizers, there are entrees, and even some desserts. Farmington Bakery comes over every year, and they have a wonderful selection of cakes for people to sample. And of course then Brackett's Crossing is going to be there again, and they've always done a wonderful job of having some very tasty things, including they've a couple of years they've brought and done the Bananas Foster, a flaming dessert, which is really good.
From my experience, the longest lines are at 2 or 3 of the restaurants.
A couple of restaurants really do draw a line, but if you're there at the event and the line looks a little bit long, go and try something else, and then later on you'll be able to get back into that one.
So you mentioned Lakeville Liquors and their role in assisting. Can you talk a little bit about how they contribute to the event?
Absolutely. Lakeville Liquors does a variety of things for us. The most important probably would be that they line up the providers of the beverages that are going to be there that are sampled. So they work with the distributors that supply Lakeville Liquors, and they come in and they will then have the wines and the craft beers for tasting. As well, what the Lakeville Liquor Stores does is they reach out to members who are in their wine club or craft beer club, and they line up tasters who then go out and are tasting certain types of wines or craft beers, and then they're based upon their evaluations, they pick the most outstanding wine in that, whether it's be a red or a white at a $5 to $10 or a $10 to $20 price point as it is, and then they feature those wines that are selected as being outstanding. So for somebody who's not familiar with wine, they're able to go into the store, and based upon the fact that this group has selected that this is a great wine to try, it helps somebody to pick out something that they would be happy to serve in their home.
So we all benefit if we like to buy wine and we can't go to the taste. We still find out what the best wines are.
Indeed we do.
So let's talk about entertainment. What kinds of entertainment is at the event?
Well, we have traditionally had 2 live bands on 2 separate stages, but this year we're changing that a little bit. One of the comments we've had over the years, we try to get feedback from the attendees in terms of how we can make it better. And one of the things we had received consistently were comments that people really enjoy the event, but they see it as a time now that winter's over, hopefully, and they can gather together at spring and have a great time, but they just want to sit down and have a conversation with their friends. And with live bands performing, that can be a little bit of a challenge. So what we have done is with the layout at the site this year, they removed the old Priory building that had been there. Actually, it was done a little bit more than a year ago, but they needed to have the grass and such come in. So this year, on the south side of the facility, we'll be extending all the way back to the street that runs on the back side. And so that's going to create a much larger area, and that's where the live band, the Teddy Holidays, will be performing this year. And on the other side, there's still tents around there, but we're creating an area that's going to be a little bit more quiet. There'll be some tables where people can sit down and carry on a conversation. And we're going to have a strolling accordionist working through the area playing some music. And then on the inside, within the Arts Center, we have a huge silent auction. And in the silent auction area on stage, we'll have Michael Lunan, who plays piano. Lovely sounds in there. So if you're looking for a little bit of quiet time and want to check out the silent auction, that's a fun place to go into as well.
Silent auction, let's talk a little bit about that. And I know there's a live auction as well.
Yes, this year we will again have 5 items up for live auction. That will probably be about the 8 o'clock time frame. And they'll do it on the stage where the live band will have been performing, and we'll have a variety of things to be bid on. Again, Brackett's Crossing has kindly donated a membership, which means they waive the $10,000 initiation fee for somebody who's interested in joining Brackett's Crossing. It can be a real bargain opportunity for them to join Brackett's Crossing. As well, as I understand it, Brackett's has had a situation that they've actually limited their membership, so it's very not gracious of them to make that available. We've also got some vacation opportunities as well, and I believe again this year we'll be doing an auction item to benefit the Miracle Field as we have done in the past.
Very nice. Now let's talk about Rotary's role here. Obviously you're the sponsor and you put the event on, but the extent of the impact of TASTE goes well beyond just a nightly event. Let's talk about what Rotary does.
Well, the activity is actually sponsored by the Lakeville Rotary Foundation, which is a foundation we have established by our club in the last year. As our club has grown, we've taken the opportunity to create a nonprofit organization, a charitable organization, which is then able to take the proceeds from the event and use it to fund the various community and international projects that our club is involved in. For example, we have a very close working relationship with the school district, and that allows us to give out scholarships to graduating seniors. But one of the really neat programs we also are involved with is a program called Strive at both Lakeville North and Lakeville South high schools. We work with the deans at the schools, and they select 25 or so students who are in their senior year who have had some academic challenges. And I think this is a good expression of what Rotary is able to do. It's not just the money, but it's taking the members of our club who act as mentors. And so they'll meet on a monthly basis with the students, bring in some programs where they'll have a speaker that'll talk about it. But a lot of it is just that one-on-one communication between the Rotarian and the 3 students that they're working with to talk about what's happened with the student, what choices that they're making, and how that long-term right now there can be maybe an opportunity for them to improve and make changes in their academic performance. And that proceeds from the Taste of Lakeville, we're able to award scholarships to the students who are participating in that program to go on and pursue their post-secondary education.
And beyond just the educational role, I know that the foundation also gives to other community events and also gives to the city in certain ways.
Right. We, every year we have been a major contributor to the Panaprod program as well as other things that the Parks and Rec program may come forward and identify opportunities that can use assistance. And so it's a good relationship that our club has with the city as well as the school district.
So Randy, if people are interested in participating in the event that's coming up on May 15th, how might they learn more about it, or how might they obtain tickets?
There's a variety of ways to do that. If you want to visit the website for it, it's www.tasteoflakeville.org. And on that, there's actually a place where you can click on to buy tickets online. There is a minor service fee on that. As well, there are vendors in town which are noted on the website as to where they can buy tickets, or any one of our members of our club has tickets to sell. In addition, our members also have some raffle tickets that if you can't participate in the event, we have a wall of wine with 3 prizes. There's 100 bottles, 50 bottles, or 25 bottles of wine. As well, there's a raffle of additional 3 prizes that includes a dinner for 8, tickets to a Minnesota Wild hockey game. So there's a variety of things that if you can't participate, you still can have an opportunity to enjoy the event.
Well, Randy, it's a wonderful event, and I know as co-chair, it's a lot of work for you and your other co-chair to pull that together, but the club rallies around it and makes it happen. So thank you very much for doing that for our community. Thanks for joining me on City Limits.
Thank you.
Did you know the City of Lakeville is organizing a citywide garage sale? This year's sale will be on Saturday, May 17th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Lakeville residents can submit their address of their garage sale to be included on a map of garage sale locations. The map will be posted on the city website and will be updated through Thursday, May 15 as registrations are received. Registrations received after May 15 and addresses falling outside the borders of the City of Lakeville will not appear on the map. To register your garage sale, visit the city's website at www.lakevillemn.gov.
We be trash walking, cleaning up the roads and byways. Walking. We be trash walking, picking up thrown away refuse. Walking. We be trash walking, helping Mama Nature look clean. Walking. We be trash walking, if I can do it, you can too.
Do some trash walking by recycling for your community and yourself.
Hi there, and welcome back to Seller Notes. I'm your host, Matt Getch, and I am here with Dan Tullio, the Canadian Club Brand Ambassador. Thanks for being with us today, Dan.
My pleasure, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming down. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do as a brand ambassador?
Well, Matt, if the liquid could talk, I wouldn't have a job. That's it's pretty simple. So I've been with the company for 33 years, and I represent the brand across the United States and Canada. And as a brand ambassador, I speak to folks like yourselves and our distributor broker partners. I work pretty close with our marketing departments, both in Canada as well as here in the U.S., to come up with different promotional activities for CC.
Do a lot of international travel?
I do. I have some responsibility for Japan, South Korea, and Australia. So typically I'm there at least once a year. And in the very near future, Beam Inc., this is our parent company. We have other brands within our portfolio such as Courvoisier and Sauza, Jim Beam, of course, Canadian Club, Skinny Girl, Pinnacle, a myriad of brands, Maker's Mark. We're going to be owned by Suntory, which is, and it's a family there that has actually bought Beam Inc. So as of June this year, we will be, we'll have new owners, Suntory.
Suntory is a Japanese company?
Japanese company, a family-owned company.
Okay, excellent. Well, why don't you get us started? Let's talk a little bit about Canadian whiskey. What differentiates Canadian whiskey between the other types of whiskey? Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, bourbon whiskey, American. There's a whole bunch of whiskeys out there. What makes Canadian Club different?
Well, to be called a Canadian whiskey, you know, we have to follow certain rules and regulations, and the standard of identity for Canadian whiskey is that we have to be made in Canada. We can use a variety of cereal grains, unlike American bourbon, for example, where the mash bill has to be at least 51% corn. So we have the flexibility of using a variety of different grains, and that allows us to come up with different marks within our portfolio. Our whiskey has to be aged for a minimum of 3 years in small wood, and please note, I noticed I didn't say new barrels. So what we Canadian, Irish, and Scottish distillers do is we purchase these once used white oak American bourbon barrels, and this is what we age our product in. So it has to be aged for a minimum of 3 years. We feel that 36 months is not long enough. Our standard brand, Canadian Club, is aged for 5 years. And we have the CC Reserve, which is 9, our 12-year-old. Needless to say, the older the better, because you know, that's why I put all this gray stuff in my hair this morning.
So the longer it stays in the barrel, the more it imparts that flavor into the whiskey, and the more it mellows the harshness of just of a distilled spirit.
Hey, you know, and we prefer aging our product in the used barrel because we get the softer spices that come out of it versus the, you know, the more aggressive wood tones and tannins that are bourbon. So with Canadian whiskey, it tends to be a bit more mellow and lighter. You know, we get those softer spices and flavors, the caramel, the butterscotch, the vanilla.
All right, excellent. Well, let's focus it down a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about Canadian Club, the brand we're talking about here today.
Canadian Club, we've been around since 1858. Our founding father, Hiram Walker, he truly was a Yankee Doodle dandy. He was born on July 4th, 1816 in Boston. And then at the age of 20, he moved west like all young men of the era, and he landed in Detroit. Detroit at the time was a bustling fur trading center, very fashionable place to live in. And he opened up a number of different businesses. Having a little bit of a chemical engineering background, he's always wanted to open up a distillery. So he traveled across the United States and Scotland and Ireland and picked up the unique nuances on how to make whiskey. And at the age of 40, he was determined to open up a distillery, but he felt that there was a temperance movement in the United States, so he felt uncomfortable about opening up a distillery in the Detroit area. So he looked across the river on the Canadian side, purchased almost 500 acres of property, a tract of land right on the river, and he put up his distillery in 1858. The uniqueness about the Canadian Club portfolio of brands is that what we do is we produce distillate. It's not called whiskey until it's aged. We produce distillate from corn, rye malt, and barley malt separately. At the end of the day, what we do is we blend those 4 distillates together, and then we put it into the barrel. So this is referred to as pre-barrel blending. We're the only Canadian distillery that does this. And what that does is it allows those 4 distillates to marry during that 5-year, 9-year, 12-year period for each one of the marks that we have. So that's what creates the smoothness behind the CC portfolio of brands.
Then why don't you tell us a little bit about the different kinds of Canadian clubs that we have here today. What makes these all different from each other?
You know, whether it's Irish whiskey, Scotch, American bourbon, or Canadian, if you tweak 3 specific things, you end up with a different taste profile product. And that would be the type of grains and ratio that you use, the type of barrel that it's aged in, as well as the length of time. So our CC Reserve, which is our 9-year-old, this particular brand over here is not Canadian Club aged for an additional 4 years. This particular brand over here has a very high percentage of rye and rye malt. Corn produces a liquid that's very neutral. It's colorless, odorless after the second distillation. With rye, it produces a liquid that's very spicy and peppery. Okay, so this is a type of product that you would want to consider putting in, let's say, for example, if you're making a Caesar, instead of putting vodka in there, consider putting in CC Reserve 9-year-old because of the high concentration of rye. It's spicy and peppery. It just amps up that Caesar. It's just phenomenal.
Okay. What do we have here on the end?
This right over here is our Canadian Club Sherry Cask. You know, I've worked on this brand. We launched it back in '93. And this is what I really like about our business is that, you know, we can stay within the standards of identity, but tweak some things so that we can come up with some of these craft whiskeys. This particular product here, Canadian Club Sherry Cask, it's basically 8-year-old Canadian Club. We age it for an additional 3 years, so grab 8-year-old Canadian Club at 144 proof. We bring in 27 barrels from Jerez, Spain, our sister company Harvey's, and these are those big pot-belly barrels of 500 liters.
Oh, okay.
We put that 144 proof 8-year-old Canadian Club into these 27 barrels, and we let it sit there for a little time. Okay, I'd like to tell you 3-4 years, but that's not the truth. There's 6 of us at the distillery. Once it reaches this flavor profile, we then drain the 27 barrels, we bring it down to 81.6 proof, and we create this batch of about 17,000 barrels. And every batch tastes just a wee bit different.
As
and
all crafts really should.
Yeah, and all craft whiskeys are kind of, you know, neat, and people like learning a little bit more about them, and you know, and having something a little bit different in their liquor cabinet.
Sure. And although mixable, that one could be considered a sipping whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the way I enjoy this one here is in an elegant lowball glass, you know, with a 1-inch by 1-inch ice cube, and so that the temperature of the liquid does, you know, go down to maybe about 60 Fahrenheit, but then again, the meltdown is very slow. You know, it's very different than if you would, let's say, jam up a glass with 25, 30 ice cubes. You know, within 10 minutes, it's all, you know, melted. So with that big ice cube in that nice, elegant lowball glass, you get a very slow meltdown.
Sure, all right. I'm sure it would make an excellent Manhattan as well, yeah?
Fantastic, yeah. For this particular brand over here, this is our Classic 12. It's part of our small batch series. We have a signature cocktail with this one. The liquid formulation over here is that it has a higher percentage of barley malt. Barley is the type of grain that helps to, as an enzyme, to break down the starches into sugar, but it also creates a liquid that's very smooth, velvety, and creamy. It's fantastic. We have a signature cocktail called the Millionaire's Manhattan. Lowball glass, fill it up with ice, 2 measures of Classic 12 by Canadian Club, and then instead of using a sweet vermouth, consider using a measure of Harvey's Bristol Cream Sherry. This is a fortified wine. The velvetiness of the sherry and the Classic 12 really do mingle well together. Garnish it with a couple of maraschino cherries, grab an orange rind, zest it over that glass. It's phenomenal. The
That sounds
Millionaire's
delicious.
Manhattan. An interesting point, about 15 years ago, the Canadian government changed the law whereby in every bottle of Canadian whiskey, 9.09% of the liquid could be any other spirit as long as it's 2 years old. So last year I launched a brand called Dark Horse, and basically what it is, it's 91% rye, 8% Old Grandad bourbon, and then we finish it off with 1% Fino sherry. And I'm going to be introducing it here in Minnesota and across some other states this summer.
That's a fantastic sounding spirit. Is there anything else like that in the market right now you could even compare it to?
Not right now.
There are two periods of time in history when Canadian whiskey in general really surged forward. You want to talk about those periods for a minute?
Yeah, there were two times. One of them was when the United States had the Civil War, of course, but then what really propelled the growth of Canadian whiskey was during Prohibition. You know, from 1920 to 1933, it was illegal to manufacture, sell, or consume beverage alcohol here in the United States. And for 13 years, we quenched the thirst of our American friends. And what a visionary our founding father was, is to put the distillery on the Canadian side of the Detroit River, right across from Detroit, back in 1858.
Of course, Canada being so close to New York and so close to Michigan. And
Yep.
I appreciate you being here with us, Dan, today. Congratulations.
Good to be neighbors
Thank you
with you.
very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on Cellar Notes.
Now it's time for the answer to today's trivia question, which is, how many miles of city streets will get reconstructed this year? If you guessed D, 8 miles, you would be correct. This year's reconstruction will occur mainly in northeast section of Valley Park. This represents approximately 4% of city roads in Lakeville. For a complete list of road work happening in the city, visit the city website at www.lakevillemn.gov. Here is a look at some of the upcoming public meetings that you can attend at City Hall. The City Council will be meeting on Monday, May 5th at 7 p.m. The Parks, Recreation, and Natural Resources Committee will be meeting on Wednesday, May 7th at 6 p.m. The Planning Commission will be meeting on Thursday, May 8th at 6 p.m. And the Finance Committee, which meets at the Water Treatment Facility, will be meeting on Thursday, May 8th at 7 p.m. For more information on government meetings and the roles of our boards and commissions, visit the city website at www.lakevillemn.gov. That's it for this edition of Lakeville City Limits. Thanks for watching. If you experience a problem with your cable TV service here in Lakeville, you should first contact Charter Communications at 1-800-581-0081. If you do not receive a satisfactory response, you can call the city at 985-4407 and we will assist you in resolving your problem. And just a reminder, you can see all of our programming online on the city website at www.lakevillemn.gov. Thanks again for watching this program and all of the programming here on LG TV.